Right, now let's get into Liverpool or Spurs versus Liverpool next weekend. We don't do it in half measures, do we, people? We're going straight back off our North London derby, straight into a game against Liverpool, which we're playing at home to, and which I'm actually more optimistic. And people would say, Luke, how can you be more optimistic? You went for a 3-2 Spurs win today. Oh, I can be, baby. I can be a lot more optimistic. But you don't want to hear about me. Winnie, give me your thoughts on next weekend's game against Liverpool. What are you expecting from this game?
I really don't like playing Liverpool. We just don't seem to have a fantastic record against them. We usually get terrorised by Salah or someone of the like. I mean, Firmino used to love a goal, so he ain't going to be there. So that's a good, hopefully.
Be Darwin Núñez this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've replaced with that. Núñez is coming into a bit of form. He's very similar to Richarlison. I think he was a bit low on confidence. And he scored a couple of weeks ago, scored today as well. So I just don't like playing Liverpool because we don't have a great record against them. However, this is a new Tottenham. At home, I said it would be great if this season we could go unbeaten at home, and that's a tough ask. I understand that, but I don't see why we can't do it. But they will bring what they usually bring. They will press, our back line very, very high and very, very fast. And it just depends if we can counter that press. And if Basuma drops in and plays the way he has been, I don't see why we can't do it. So I'll give my prediction eventually, obviously, when we get round to it, maybe. But I'm expecting a tough game. But with this new Tottenham, who says we can't turn them over?
Yeah, no, 100%. We need to start believing that actually, history and games in the past, this is no Conte, this is no Jose Mourinho. Remember when we battered Liverpool at home, 4-0, I think it was, Wembley. There are times when we have really taken it to the Jurgen Klopp Liverpool side. And, why can we not do that at home, still unbeaten in the league?
Yeah.
And, yes, we will get to our score predictions. But it's going to be interesting. Again, another side that will try and press us. And Son, I expect to play through the middle again. I expect him to score again. Bar any kind of like real medical emergency, like what happened to Ivan Perisic, with the likes of Maddison, Basuma, Sarr, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Bar any kind of disaster like that, then we have as much chance as we've ever had to be able to win this game. Harry, what's your thoughts on Liverpool? Obviously, we can talk every week about inverted fullbacks and how, pacey wingers can get the better of them and so on. But I expected that from Arsenal today. And we didn't see that at all, really. I didn't really ever see Saka or, in the second half, Jesus, when he was on the left, running at those fullbacks and creating space in behind because we pushed too far up. So I actually think that's kind of a bit of a myth. But what are your thoughts on the Liverpool game?
Yeah, it'd be a really tough game. Along with today, it's a test of how far we've come in that short period of time that Ange has been at the wheel, and how far we've got to go before we are serious. Because I don't think there's any problem with me. What I'm going to say is eventually, further down the line in the project with Ange, we want to, even maybe now, close the gap to the best teams in this country and eventually compete with them and maybe even overtake them. So it'll be a real test where we are. We played a Man United side that aren't themselves yet, and definitely weren't when we played them. We played an Arsenal side who were only 1 point worse off than they were last season and had arguably a tougher run. And the real test for me, Liverpool at home, where, like when he says we've struggled, both home and away, not really struggled, but it's never been easy for us, that game in recent years, because Liverpool been good. Last season they weren't as good, so they've definitely gone away and improved. So it'd be really tough for us. So it'd be real kind of reality check, if you like, I suppose, in a nice way of where we are. Trying not to be too negative here, but it will kind of show us whereabouts we are. Because I think Liverpool are serious this year. Not necessarily going to win the title, but I think they'll be in and around that top 2 or 3 for the majority of the season. I think they're finished there as well. So I'm trying not to give my score prediction here, but I think it'd be tough, like when he says. But yeah, we're playing some good stuff at the moment. I think we're really going to miss Perisic though. I think that's a big miss. I think what he offers. I think if you're going to get the best out of the likes of Richarlison, Perisic is the man to do that. But it is what it is. We can't use it as excuses. So we've got to play what's in front of us, beat what's in front of us. That home record, Winnie, you say there's no reason why we can't do that. So if we come out of the Liverpool game unbeaten again, I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, do you know what? As bad as it sounds every week saying this, but if we get in, draws and snatch wins at home against top sides, that sits us in a brilliant position come the latter part of the season. As I said to everybody last week, like even if we lost today, it's not the end of the world. If we lose next week, it's not the end of the world. At some point, this team will lose, but it's about kind of keeping that home record. For big hands, that would be wonderful. But also, it's about making your home a fortress as well. And saying, do you know what? You come and play us. Because the amount of Arsenal fans today who would have, come out and said, we're battering Spurs this week. I can see us scoring 3 or 4. I had a friend of mine who lives in Dubai. We were talking this morning and I said to him, what do you think is going to happen? I said, I reckon it might be 3-2, whatever. And he was like, I can't see that happening. I said, if we score early, we'll, steamroller you. And I was like, do you know what? It might happen. Like, I'm not saying it won't. But that kind of attitude, and then to be humbled like that at home, is massive. And so, so to kind of compete against these big teams, top 6 teams, and come out, on top, especially at home, I think we've got a real chance. I think if they start playing with, with Trent Alexander-Arnold at the back, with one of their other defenders like Matip or somebody like that, or Kanate, I think we can get the better of them, or even Van Dijk. Van Dijk's not the same as he used to be. I think there are areas of the pitch that they are struggling in. This new midfield that they've got, I don't think is all that. I think that, our midfield and their midfield, there's not much in it. And I really think that we've got a chance. But, we might as well go through it now. We've teased it enough. So let's go for our score prediction. So I am going to go with Harry first.
Thank you. Wow. What I'm about to say is not something I thought I'd be saying a few months ago. I'm generally, if people don't know already, I tend to be quite negative, right? I said at the start of the season, I think we're finishing about 9th. That bearing in mind what we've just gone through that season, that is definitely changed. I'm loving not only Big Ange, but the club and how we're doing at the moment. I think we're winning. I think we're winning. Liverpool just gained that little bit of momentum. I think their fans are getting carried away. I've scrolled through TikTok and X today, and there's already talks that are in the title fight with City. So they need a beating, in a nice way. So I do think we'll do that. So I'm going to go with 3-1's a bit too cocky. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Spurs win. I think we're going to terrorise Liverpool.
Okay. That makes me change my score prediction because my score prediction I just wrote down was 2-1 Spurs.
You can change it.
You don't have to change it.
Huh?
You don't have to change it.
No, I don't. No, I don't have to change it. But
I don't mind you going with my prediction. You tend to be right.
If I get 3 points, Harry also gets 3 points.
Yeah, but Harry's not an issue for you at the minute. Look how far down the table he is.
I'm catching him up. Don't worry.
Small fry compared to us at the top, anyway. You know what? Okay, fair enough. I'll stick with it. I didn't stick with it last week at the 2-2 draw, and I should have done. So I am going to stick with it. 2-1 Spurs. I think you're right, Harry. I think we could concede early. I think that we may concede a goal.
I think we'll go 1-0 down again.
But I think that seeing how we still maintain that stamina and that play and that possession at 90 plus minutes and have chances 99 minutes again today, I think shows real bollocks and real steel. And I think that, I think that we can beat them. Just so you know, I have got the score predictions from both Dave and Callum, who both are in today.
Goodness
and
sake.
they've both bottled it and both gone for a 2-2 draw. But at least
we drew 2-2 today. Goodness
Yeah,
sake.
2-2 draw. At least he's not. Callum's not going to be a
Or
Judas
off.
again this week. But Winnie, leader of the score predictions.
Yeah.
You know, people said
For
last
now.
week whatever Luke says will happen. It's not anymore, is it? It's whatever
No.
Winnie says will happen.
It's whatever Winnie says will happen. Look, I've got 2 scores in my head. I'll be honest.
Well,
Obviously, I can't go with 2 scores. If I was to go with the score that I want to remain top of the table, I would go 2-1 Liverpool. However, because I am a new optimistic Tottenham fan, and you know what, I'm top of the table. I've been there. You know what, if someone overtakes me now, I'll take it. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
1-1.
Still played it safe.
Okay. So to wrap up on that,
Sensible.
we have 1-1 from Winnie,
Yep.
2-2 from Callum, 2-2 from Dave, 2-1 Spurs from Harry, and 2-1 Spurs from Luke, aka me. Interesting, Harry. Very interesting, Harry. That, you know, do you know what? I like you a lot, Harry.
Don't you dare start.
You know, I want to give a quick, huh?
Don't you dare start.
No. I just started by I like you a lot, Harry. I like you a lot. And you know what? What you're doing with Spurs and with Barney and raising awareness of autism and neurodiversity, if I said that correctly, and everything that goes along with it. You know, you've been to Fulham now. You're now going to Spurs. And you know, you're filming lots of content and doing great stuff. So big up to you. Since that's happened, though,
there we go.
You've become a little bit nicer to Spurs. I've noticed a little bit nicer to Spurs, and I like it. I like that, Harry. I like that. You know, positive. I want to say it's down to me, but it's not.
No, he's blooming not. No, it's not right. What it's down to is that, I just think that fans need calling out for when they label things that I just don't want to be. How do I word this? I don't want to be associated or be like people who dismiss individuals before even doing the basic research to look up their name, to watch clips of them. And that's happened with Vicario, Van der Ven. It's happened in endless transfer windows. We're playing some good stuff at the moment. There's no reason to be negative about it. Do I think that a bubble will burst at some point? No. Believe it or not, no. I do not. I think that we're playing really good stuff under Ange. This is here to stay for now. So for someone who said, who's been saying for weeks, the bubble's going to burst, it's going to be Luton, or it's going to be a big game. It hasn't happened yet, and I like the confidence. But unlike someone named Dave, I can accept when I've got something wrong. He's completely changed, and he's convinced that he hasn't. So I can admit, I've been wrong about far too many things. Being wrong about Big Ange, he's proved me wrong. I love him. I'm glad he's here. I want him to commit even more long term. I think it's just been phenomenal what he's done in such a short period of time. He turned over the fans, turned over the players. So long may that continue. I've seen resilience, togetherness that I've never seen with watching Spurs before. Yes, we came back against Conte, but there wasn't that team spirit there. If it was, it didn't last. Didn't last into the next game. So it's great to see. The real test is, will Ange learn from his only mistake, in my opinion, is he's so far in the Spurs job, and that is by making 9 changes in the Carabao Cup. Will he do that or will he not in the FA Cup? For me, that defines whether he's someone who accepts mistakes or not. But no, he's going really well at the moment. I've dropped the negativity for now, but we're in the Spurs fans, always in the back of their mind. But no, we're playing some great stuff, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair play to you, Harry. It's difficult to admit, you know, that you're not always right, and you know we can't always be right. You know, some of us. But anyway,
some of us.
Yeah, quick shout out to Johnny. I still say Spurs haven't played anybody yet. Arsenal was mid-table team today.
Okay,
that's why
Johnny, we played Man United. So okay, we haven't played anyone. So Johnny doesn't even rate his own team. Okay, interesting. We played Man United and Arsenal. The only big team Arsenal played is us. Ta-da. We played 2 of the top 4/6. They've played 1, Johney.
They both finished in the top 4 last season. So
yeah. But I want to ask you both, obviously, because I know wrapping up soon. I know we said like getting the top 4 will be amazing, get back into Europe. Right now, after this draw and the way we're playing, being unbeaten, what can we actually achieve this season? What's the maximum for you that we can go?
Do you know what? I am a positive guy, but I'm also a realist, right? I still think that we have a long way to go. I still think that fifth would be a pretty impressive season. Let's look at some of these other managers. We can use Mikel Arteta or Jurgen Klopp, for that matter, as quite obvious and quite easy answers to that. When these transitions of these clubs happened, you've seen positions that they've finished in. We're talking the 8th, the 7th, the 9th. We dropping out of Europe. Those things. Spurs to get a Champions League spot, which fifth hopefully would do this season, would be absolutely massive under Ange Postecoglou. And I feel like the investment would come there. And we've seen whatever you think of it, we've seen the talks with Daniel Levy, Ange Postecoglou, and so on. At these press conferences that they've this kind of talks they've done and that kind of thing together. Looks like they're really on the same page, and that to me, kind of speaks wonders. But I think fifth. How about you, Winnie?
Yeah, I think if I'm very similar to you, as you know. I'm also a realist, and I look at Man City better than us. I think Liverpool marginally, but I think they are probably better than us.
Yeah.
I may have put Arsenal up there, but after today, I don't think there's much difference between us and them. So
Newcastle look better.
Possibly we could creep fourth. Obviously, on my original decision was fifth prior to the season starting. So maybe if I'm being a little bit optimistic, I could maybe think we could stretch to fourth. But again, I'm a realist, and I think there are still better teams than us because we are so early into our new transition as a team. So I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. But in years to come, why not up there even further?
Yeah.
Can I just put something out there? I love to put bold statements, and they don't often come true. But hopefully this is different. We will be playing Champions League football next season, one way or another. I think that we can. Yes, I'd be happy. I said that any improvement on last season in terms of performances and results and certain league positions, we've already done all three in this short period of time. Of course, assuming we're going to keep it up. But I think, like you say, Winnie, I can't see us finishing above City or Liverpool. But I think we can finish third. I think we'd be like a battle for Champions League between Newcastle, Tottenham. Man United will probably come into the equation later. It's going to be very, very tough. I'll be very happy if we get fifth, but I do think we will be playing Champions League football next season, and I don't think Arsenal will. There you go.
Wow. Very, very interesting. Anyway, on that kind of bombshell, we might as well wrap up. But I do want to shout out to everybody in the chat. Johnny, Barney, Jay, Geordie's just joined us, Holly, Dave.
Johnny's had another shocker.
I'm scrolling through the chat. I can't name you all, but I just want to, shout out to everybody that comes in, week out, and gives us support. Keep the DMs coming, keep the chat coming on Twitter and all the rest of it. Make sure you are subscribing to this channel. So Geordie, I've just seen you joined in. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Make sure you're hitting that like button as well. Let's get the views as high as we can. More importantly, let's get us to 1,000 subscribers so we can start getting more and more content.
How close are we?
150, 60-ish off.
Okay, so by Christmas, latest.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. Look, it will come when it comes, but it will come with the more subs, the more clicks, the more views, the more watches. Everything like that really does help us. So I just want to thank everybody so far that's done.
Yeah. Johnny, I'm happy to do a bet, by the way. We are finishing above you, mate. We've not got it easy. We're a team who's just started a project. Put it out there if you like. I think you're going to finish about fifth or sixth. I think we can finish third. So, like it or not, that's what I think. Deal with it.
Amazing. Anyway, Winnie, looking fabulous in that half and half top. How can everyone find you, buddy?
Winnie1991 on Twitter. And obviously the admin for the thingy for the Park Lane Twitter. So, keep your eyes peeled for my usual Monday morning controversial tweet.
Some things are right, but Winnie does sometimes come up with some crap. It depends what mood he's in.
Whoa. But you know what? That's not very nice.
Oh, it's a bold statement coming from Harry Scarf. Let's be honest.
Oi, what are you saying? No, that's not fair. Wonder why the content.
Richarlison, 20-25 goals.
Yeah.
Golden Boot winner, I think, was also
I would
mentioned.
love to know where you got 25 from. I think it's always been maybe in all competitions, something like that. But I think he's still scoring 10, 15 league goals. I stand by that.
Golden Boot winner was once announced.
No, I said that he'll be in the top 5 or 10. It'd be contention. That's a bit over the top, isn't it? But no, it'd be in the top 10.
Anyway. Harry, how can everyone find you and what's happening on your show this week?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, let's get to 1K. Support each other in the Spurs community, I suppose, because there's a lot more than 1,000 Spurs fans out there. And what's more, what do you like about 5 people talking about Tottenham and your opinion? You getting involved as well. So make it part of your routine, and don't forget to subscribe, because there's more than 1K of you who do listen. So there you go. If you want to follow me there, Harry Scarf 22. New approach recently. I don't care what people think anymore. If you disagree with my opinion, so what? It doesn't matter. I'm not changing my opinion. Trying to think what's got coming up. Oh yeah, tomorrow is my show. I'm not hosting it. My show will go on though. Second time I'm on another show. Apologies, can't remember the name. And also tomorrow morning, I find out whether I've made the top 10 for either best young content creator or the Let Me Get This Right, Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Individual Award. Find out if I made the place in the top 10. If so, I'll be attending an evening with some excellent people on the 16th of November at Anfield. So I can't wait if I made it or not, because it's fantastic people who go every year. So yeah, thank you very much for having me on once again, Luke.
Anytime, mate. Anytime. And just want to say, what's the point, FC, if you're going to act like
He's
a
back
knobhead?
again. He's like me. He's getting on my show. He's getting a permanent time out on Monday. Don't worry.
Simple as that. As everyone said, keep supporting us, keep showing your love. Really do appreciate every single one of you. We've just hit 1,000 listens on all podcast platforms, which may not seem a lot to some of you, but it's absolutely amazing for us. So if you're listening on any podcast platform, we thank you very, very much. And we will see you next week at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube with Part Lane Podcast. Until next time, a big come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.